Good morning, gang. Happy Tuesday morning. First business day of 2024. Hope everybody had a great New Year's holiday weekend. Didn't get shot. Yeah, God. Chicago, seconds after the New Year rang in, had its first murder. Yeah, way to go, Chicago. New record. Yeah, lucky me here this morning. It's middle of the night. Okay. 3 o'clock in the morning, one of my smoke detectors decided, hey, this is a good time to tell everybody that the battery's low. So let's start chirping at 3 a.m. Oh, God. So needless to say, I'm wide awake here and it's 4 o'clock. So let's get into the beginning of 2024. The black market. Now, most of us, when we hear the term the black market, we think about drugs, guns, that sort of stuff being sold. Maybe counterfeit Gucci bags or something like that coming over from China. That's what most of us think about the black market. Let me ask you this. Have you ever driven by a Home Depot or something, someplace that's got a relatively large parking lot, and seen some guy selling watermelons or oranges or something out of the back of their truck? Chances are it's some guy who works on a produce farm or whatever, and he's selling his goods via legal purposes. But what are the chances of not? There's some. This is where we have gotten to in society. The final figures aren't in yet, but in 2023, there was over $100 billion of retail theft last year. You wonder why the price of stuff is going up, right? Stores got to make up those losses somehow. So for those of us that actually do it the right way and pay for what we get at the store, our prices go up so the store can continue to operate. We've all seen the videos on people going into Target, Walmart, the grocery store, the drugstore, whatever, and just scraping stuff off of a shelf into a cart and running out the door, right? Okay. But it's gotten now to the point where the economy worldwide has started a new business. Food trucks, okay? And I'm not talking about the lunch wagon, the roach coach, that sort of stuff where the guy's selling stuff out of there. I'm talking about the guy who's got a pickup truck. I'm talking about the guy who has a minivan, and he and his team went to the store and stole all the ground beef, stole all the chicken or whatever, and they're selling the meat out of the back of their truck or out of the back of their car. That's what started happening. There was a report that came out overnight about Great Britain. $1.3 billion worth of food was stolen last year. Now, you think about it, when these looters are going into stores, we always see they're stealing tennis shoes or TVs or something like that. Running joke is you never see them steal work boots. But has anybody given the thought to how much theft is happening in the grocery store? And this causes a couple of problems here that we need to pay attention to. First off, if we've gotten this bad, that means food is way too expensive. That means people can't eat. And we already know that better than 40% of the world population is on some level of the starvation hierarchy, okay, that they don't have enough food. That's scary. But now when you look at what people are doing, desperate times call for desperate measures. Stealing the food. Okay. You almost can sympathize with some people that they're so hungry that they are willing to go steal something in a grocery store so they can eat. Remind me again about how first world we are. Okay. But now it's gotten to the point with some of these laws. Hey, you steal $1,000, we're not even going to charge you, right, California? Okay, no crime. How difficult is it now for teams of people, just like we've seen go into Nordstrom's or Macy's or whatever, higher end stores, and steal clothing, steal shoes, that sort of stuff, steal TVs, trying to resell it. But now they're doing it with food. I know, and anybody who's had their eyes open for the last few years knows that food has gotten ridiculously expensive. But imagine now that your local grocery store closes because theft is too high. Or imagine the price of the food that you pay goes up so much, not because of inflation, but because they've got to cover the losses from all the theft. Remember, you look around the country these days, and the criminals have more rights than the victim. Guy tries to break into a house, the homeowner, awakened out of his sleep, shoots the guy, and in a lot of states, they prosecute the homeowner because he violated the criminal's rights. He used deadly force he shouldn't have. Right, I should let somebody come in my house in the middle of the night while my wife is asleep and let him go through my house and take all my stuff, right? Sure, because, he came in and said, I'm just here for the TV, right? Same thing happening with the criminals, right? They're going to go in and steal all the meat, but damn well that the police, the defunded police, can't do anything because the George Soros-backed prosecutors won't do anything. We're in bizarro world where criminals have more rights than the victim, where it's now illegal to declaw a cat because it's inhumane, but it's perfectly acceptable to cut off a 8-year-old's schwanz because he thinks he's a girl. Okay. This is how insane it's got, guys. And this is what we have to look forward to this year. Food prices going up. Okay. The economy, like I told you guys yesterday, and what I think is going to happen this year, we're going to hold steady for the first 9 months, and then all hell's going to break loose. Okay? But people got to eat. Here it is. It's the beginning of January, and there's still food in the stores. Okay, it's expensive. You look for sales like everybody else. Like me, you're probably cutting coupons, looking for sales, doing whatever you can, and putting more and more and more stuff back. We're getting ready now. By now, you should have prepared your garden plan for this year and know what you're going to grow. You should be ready. Depending on where you live, you could be planting already. Obviously, in some places, no. But, here in a couple of weeks, I will start my cold weather crops for the year. So you get into this and go, what are all those people going to do that don't have their eyes open, okay, that aren't concerned about growing their own food or catching, trapping, hunting their own food? They're just like AOC. Meat comes from the grocery store. Until it ain't there. How many times have you gone to the grocery store and seen no ground beef, no pork chops, no chicken, whatever? It's all gone. Did everybody buy it? Was it stolen? Somebody else got it and you didn't. Now, I know people have given me crap for this ever since the beginning of the channel. When I go into the store, If there's a good deal on it, I will get as much as I can. If that means taking everyone on the shelf, I will do it. Yeah, same policy applies. Disagree with me if you will. I really don't care. If there's a good deal and I can afford to get more and put it in my freezer to can it, to do whatever, my first priority, number one priority, is taking care of this household. Yours should be the exact same. That the hell with this, oh, I'm going to leave something for the next guy. I'm going to be nice. Right. Because those people that are cleaning out the shelves and selling it out of the back of the car, they're leaving something for you, right? They're doing you a service. Well, I took the risk stealing all this chicken so I can sell it to you for half of what it's costs on a grocery. You should be thankful for me, right? And I mean, that's the logic they'll use. No, okay? Because by stealing all that chicken, you now are putting the store at risk, which puts those employees at risk, which puts everybody else, the other customers of the store at risk. We don't know how violent you're going to be going into that store, okay? You know, how dangerous it is. This is the demise of society. And when we've got to the point of it being on food, all this is going to do is be snowball rolling downhill. It's going to get worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. If 1.3 billion was stolen in Great Britain, Canada's got a huge problem. The same with theft of food and being resold on the street. Okay, I can't tell you exactly how many dollars, but I'm assuming it's a lot more than it is in Great Britain. Just look at the size of Canada versus the size of Great Britain. Okay. What are your food plans? What's going to happen? I want you to seriously think about this. Come September, come October, when we are a month or two from the election and all bets are off and the polls tell us which way it's going to go and one side or the other is going to get violent, guys, face it. Okay. You get those Black Friday deals or Black Friday sales, at least in years past, not so much anymore, where you see crowds of people running into the store, fighting, beating each other, pushing. Or imagine that at your grocery, because all of a sudden the grocery store says, we got 10 gallons of milk in. Okay. You can start thinking about how life was in former Eastern Bloc nations. Stand in line. Maybe if you're lucky, we'll still have a gallon of milk by the time you want it. Because this is what's going to eventually happen with the stores. You're not going to be able to go in and go shopping. We've seen all the stories on Walmart's changing their parking lots. And there's a lot more, we'll bring your groceries out to you. Be a personal shopper at Walmart, right? I mean, you guys have seen this. You guys have told me about it. I know my store is setting it up here to be something along the lines like that. I talked with one of the cashiers at Walmart, and they said that's the way they're planning on the store going, where basically it's a huge warehouse. You get on your computer and you type your grocery order in. They go pick it for you, and they'll bring it out to your car. And people all go, woohoo, look at this, great idea. All I have to do is sit on my computer, tap, 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 and they'll bring my food out to me. How hard, how great is that? Do you think the stores are doing that because it's convenient for them? No, the stores are going to wind up losing money doing that because you don't have impulse purchases. Okay. You don't stand there and go, oh, you know what? I'll grab this bottle of Mountain Dew. Or, oh, I'll grab this pack of Juicy Fruit. Or, oh, gee, I forgot I need some extra batteries. Or, hey, that cake looks good, right? No impulse purchases. But the stores are going, We'll lose less money by not having impulse purchases than we will from all the theft that is going on. Because the easiest thing for them now is you type it all in the computer, they bring it out to your car. Nobody can steal anything other than the employees that are in the store. And they're all going to be watched pretty closely. You know, when an employee walks out with 2 roasts under his arm at the end of the day, that might be a little questionable. He's out of a job. So that's what is going on. This is how bad it's going to be. We talk about digital society, artificial intelligence. Your entire life is going to be on the internet. Amazon, it's going to be the only place you can shop. Okay, you want to buy something, you need new clothes, you need new shoes, get on Amazon. I think I'm kidding you. You don't think Jeff Bezos wants every other business to be out of business and everybody have to shop from him? Of course he does. What I say yesterday about the end of brick and mortar stores, that's the goal. Okay, there's certain things that you can't do that with. Groceries would be one of them. You need to be able to get the food fresh. I can't order celery on Amazon and expect it to be here in what they used to be 2 to 3 days, and now it's 7 to 10. You know, by the time it gets here, I've got, limp celery. So it needs to be fresh. So that will be the deal to get there. But this is where we're going, guys. And it's just coming faster and faster and faster. And when this all starts to hit food, the basic necessity of life, okay, like I said, it ain't going to be long till there's a breathing tax, okay? And they've already conditioned us over the last 20 years or something like that tap water isn't good for you. You've got to buy bottled water. But on the other hand, save the planet. We don't need to use plastics. How are you going to put the water in a paper bag? Okay, that won't work too well. Look at the big picture, guys, when you see this stuff. And prepare, get your plan made to combat what they're doing. There's going to be a time, it ain't far away, where you're not going to be able to go get food at the store. Maybe able to get some things, but we're already seeing less and less and less on the shelves. Your selections aren't there. I haven't seen tilapia in the store for months. Okay. I know people say, tilapia is not a good fish for you. Great. We like whiting too. Okay. But more things are going to disappear. What happens when there is no milk? Do you know somebody who has a cow? Might be important. Okay. What happens when there is no sugar? Don't know anybody who has a sugarcane plant or, plot of land around. Maybe you know how to grow sorghum in your area. Maybe you can tap a maple tree and make yourself maple syrup and use that as a substitute. Maybe you can plant stevia. Okay. There's a sugar substitute. But all these little things that you look at, what are your plans? Because as more and more food is getting stolen because people are getting desperate, that's going to bring in the violence, and that's going to bring in the end of the groceries. And then what do you do? Pinball out.